Hello, I'm Dr. Bryce Kaye, speaking to you from my home port in Oriental, North Carolina. Today I'd like to talk to you about a very useful tool you can use for preventing some of the damage from negative enmeshment fights where both you and your partner try to wound each other. You sink down into blame fights using sarcasm and whatnot, and you go into rage states. If this is occurring, there's something you can do other than trying to beat yourself up afterwards for being so stupid. That's really not a very constructive way of handling the situation, nor is it very constructive for you to go back and grovel to your partner and say you were very vicious and later you really regret it, and you go back and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was so, that's not the way I want to be, and will you forgive me?" That's really not nearly as constructive, and in fact it could be destructive to keep doing that sort of abasement to try to learn your lesson. Is something much more useful, and I call it autonomous correction. It has a different focus than an apology. An apology's focus, when you say "I'm sorry," is really to manipulate the other person in the moment to try to get them to reestablish contact and connection with you. It's really a momentary manipulation of their emotion. It's not focused on responsibility. I want you to just imagine this scenario where you come back to your partner and you're holding in your mind that you want to grow your integrity and your responsibility and your truth for future conflicts, that you want to be more responsible and you're actually growing stronger. So in the moment, you say you've had this conflict an hour before, and you finally get your wits about you and you can see that it was damaging and you said things that you thought were irresponsible. And so you go back to your partner and you say, I'd like to say something to you, and I would like you to just hear it from me. I think I owe this to the relationship, and I owe it to myself. What I said to you before, when I said X, Y, and Z, I want you to know that that is not the way that I want to be. That, number one, it wasn't entirely truthful for this reason. And also, I was really trying to hurt you, and I was trying to not feel weak. I was trying to not feel dominated, and I was going about it by trying to push you under instead. Now, I disagree with you before, but what I wish I had done is I wish I had said it to you this way. I wish I had negotiated with you this way. I wish I had just said, "No, I refuse," this way. I wish I had done X, Y, and Z this way instead. And my plan in the future is I'm going to be working, when I get in these tussles with you, to do J, K, and L as a plan for trying to evolve myself in the future. Now, I just want you to know that. You can believe it or not believe it. Just watch what I do. But this is my working on myself. I want to do this for myself. I want to do this for the relationship. And I just want you to know. Now, notice, nowhere in there am I saying, "Please forgive me." Okay? I'm not adopting an attitude of trying to pull forgiveness out of my partner. Instead, I'm focusing on self-forgiveness. And I'm not even focusing so much on that as I'm focusing on responsibility and truth and what I need to do for the future. So that's the autonomous part. I'm not running off of my partner's battery. I'm running off of my own battery to strengthen my frame, Now, the world doesn't tell you this, that meaning matters. The world will tell you that behavior matters. But there are some very profound things that occur that when you hold a frame of meaning in your mind while you struggle to do something that's difficult, like to tell the truth about your responsibility or what happened or your responsibility for the future. When you struggle to be truthful or responsible, and you hold in your mind the frame that you're growing your integrity stronger for you, it burns in. And there's some geeky psychophysiological reasons for that. Even adrenaline catalyzes memory by stimulating noradrenal release in the amygdala that catalyzes burn-in of memory into context. So 12-step programs, for instance, use this principle of working the steps. What is that? That's a system of struggles to burn in to memory higher principles and values. Well, those higher principles and values actually support you in conflict. When you're hanging on to your autonomous frame of meaning of truth, responsibility for welfare, and other transcendent values down in your brain, even in your unconscious, when they're embedded in your world, you're autonomous, you stay more steady. It's kind of like a boat that has a lot of ballast in its keel. Okay? You don't capsize, you don't go into rage states. And so don't forget that an autonomous repair, as soon after a conflict, going and not apologizing, but stating what the truth is of what you did, how it was irresponsible, what your responsibilities are for the future, not looking for forgiveness, but giving it to yourself and affirming that you're growing your frame stronger. That is one of the best ways of growing your healthy core to stay steady in future conflicts. So, complex concept you won't hear anywhere else. I hope you use it. This is Dr. Bryce Kaye. Thank you for listening. I wish you fair winds and a safe voyage. Thank you.